Are we live? We are live. Welcome back, everybody, to United versus Everybody. I am your host, Sean, and I do thank you guys for being here. A little off timing today. I wasn't actually planning to do a video today, but we had some news popping up that affects everybody in terms of European football and European leagues and transfers. But then I was planning to add some of my FC25 comments to another video, but I thought that I would probably just make a whole new video about it because there's so much that's bad about it, to be honest. And quite frankly, I literally only played the game for about an hour, and I don't even think I actually played a match yet. That's how frustrated I got already. So we're going to dive into that. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Danny, how you doing, pal? Having a good weekend, I hope. So we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk a little bit about transfer window updates today. Let's kick things off first by congratulating the U18s on a 9-0 victory over Blackburn Rovers. We saw 2 goals from Gabriel Bianchiri, 4 goals from Scanlon, and then also the U21 celebrated a 5-3 win over Norwich Academy yesterday too. Ethan Wheatley actually yesterday had a hat trick as well. He got his 3rd goal in like the 99th minute. And so, as I've said many times, the future looks bright. I know Danny's my academy scout. He knows all the good up-and-coming young talent. He's got his nose on the ground with the academy too. So I did post on my Twitter yesterday a link to the Norwich versus United U21s match because Norwich was actually live streaming it on their YouTube channel because apparently they can do that, but Manchester United can't do it on their MUTV. So hopefully you guys were able to find that because it was live. But Usman, welcome back, bud. How you doing? So big up the U18s, big up the U21s. Future is looking very bright. At least we have something to be happy about right now. Danny says, don't know what you mean. FC25 is really good. We're going to talk about it, bud, because I'm sure everybody's a little different. So before we get into FC25, I want to talk a little bit about the transfer window updates because we got some big news today regarding the Premier League transfer window. So starting next summer, the transfer window is going to be closing before the Premier League season officially starts mid-August. So this is something I wanted for a while. We've had it already. Premier League tried it in 2018, but of course there were some issues, and the issues resulted in the Premier League clubs voting to turn it back to ending on the 31st of August. So I bet you can all guess what the issues were. The issues were that not every other league throughout the world agreed to it. It was just the Premier League. So again, it's kind of like this notion of making like a wage cap or a salary cap for your players, right? It only works when everybody does it because let's say the Premier League voted to institute a wage cap and no other league does. Well, then players are just going to jump ship and go to every other league because they're going to get paid more. Similar to this, Premier League voted in 2018. They ended their transfer window in the middle of August, but then other clubs didn't. So other clubs were still doing business and the Premier Leagues couldn't do anything about it. It's a problem when you're not allowed to buy or sell players for 2 weeks while clubs in other leagues still can. But this time, however, things are a little different. It does look like clubs and leagues in Spain, France, Italy, and Germany, so the big leagues, they're all on board. So that does make it a little easier. The problem, however, is the Saudi League. The Saudi League hasn't agreed to this. So the Saudi League is known to have deep pockets. They've known to attracting big talent. They've already spent big the last couple of years. They've got that increased allocation in in foreign players. So they're going to be looking to spend big, and they've been hoovering up talent, and not even just older players like Ronaldo or Benzema or anything. Like they've got guys like Ruben Neves, Mo Diaby, Mo Simikan, Marcus Leonardo is at Al Hilal now. Gabri Vega is in there. So if they don't agree to close the transfer window as well, Saudi League, this is going to be a problem with other clubs you have. Of course, you can say, no, you don't have to sell a player. But at the same time, what's going to happen if the player wants to go and forces a move? It causes nothing but problems. And so we'll see what happens. What are your guys' thoughts on the transfer window closing? I have long been a proponent of making this a permanent thing. Close the window, then let the season start. I don't like the overlap. I don't like protracted sagas running. I like at United in particular, we've had so many windows in the last couple of years where we've signed players into the season already, and it's very frustrating. And so glad to see it happening. Glad to see other European leagues jumping on board. I wish that it was a worldwide thing. Obviously, that is hard. Obviously, we can't hold other leagues necessarily at standard because you've got leagues like the MLS, you got leagues like in Norway that end at different times throughout the year. So it is what it is there. But let me know what you guys think. Danny B says, wow, Marcus Leonardo in Saudi. Yeah, he's at Al Hilal, man. Pretty sure he's at Al Hilal. So let me check real quick. I checked before I went live. Yeah, he plays at Al Hilal, which again, it's one of those, like, you don't even have to be like a player like on your way out of football to be going there anymore. I was super surprised when they got Ruben Neves. I thought he was kind of a player in his prime. He's a player I really would have liked United to get. He's gone. And so Gabri Vega, remember, everybody was interested in him the other year, and then he ended up going there as well. Danny B says, didn't stay Benfica long, big surprise. Yeah, and this is the thing too, when you've got these young players, everybody's thinking that everyone's going to be the next Mbappe because they're young and they've had a good breakout season. Let's get them. But then they don't play them. Like we saw a little bit with Endrick. Marcus Leonardo now has done the same thing. Obviously, some players are very, very good. Cole Palmer. I mean, Cole Palmer has got to be like the best player in the Premier League, in my opinion, right now. The dude's a straight up machine. But welcome, Nick. How you doing? Top player. Welcome back, bud. What about loans and frees? Yeah, nothing happens when the transfer window is closed. Free transfers are different. If a player is a free agent, you can get him now. Like, that's just the way free agents have always worked. But no, you can't do anything after the transfer window closes. Kind of like playing FC 25, which we're going to jump into. So let me know your thoughts on the transfer window. Do you like the idea of it ending before the season? Are you worried that the other leagues that aren't on board might have an advantage? This is the reason why we changed it back after the Premier League voted to do this back in 2018. But this time is different, like I said. So Germany, Italy, Spain, and France, I think, yeah, are all doing it as well. So could make it a little easier, but not entirely figured it out. But Dana B says, yeah, should open earlier than July. Yeah. And remember, there was a time where we didn't even have a January transfer window. It's just clubs are finding it, more and more necessary. And I think that there's a whole separate video almost to be had as far as, big clubs versus smaller clubs, squad depth versus no squad depth, substitutions versus no substitutions, all this stuff. It's going to be a never-ending battle between the smaller clubs and the bigger clubs in terms of who has the advantage. So we won't get into all that, but it's interesting. I like it in theory, but at the same time, like I said, it's like having a salary cap. Everybody's got to do it, or else it doesn't really make a difference. So yes, top player. It does require pre-planning. It does. And we have a system now at United where we're hopefully going to have an actual strategy. So hopefully we'll be on top of stuff. We won't be waiting till the window opens. Nick Sadley says, FC 25, no comments. I haven't played for a long time. Yeah, that takes us to the next topic now, Nick, because we're going to jump into FC 25 a little bit, because I don't know if you guys have had a chance to play it. I don't know if anyone's pre-ordered. I don't know if anyone had the early access or what. I grabbed my copy yesterday. So like the video, subscribe if you want to hear somebody rant. If you want to hear a 39-year-old man rant about a video game, jump on in, because I'm not happy at all. And maybe it's part of me just maybe getting older and I'm like maybe moving away from the interest. But where do I start with this year's game? So again, I pre-ordered it like I do every year, despite the annual evidence that tells me I shouldn't. Every single year I pre-ordered. Every single year I go into it saying, don't pre-order it. Just wait until like Black Friday. But every year I still do it anyway because I want to play. And every year I'm disappointed. Usman says, I had early access last week. It was perfect. So we're going to talk, man. You give me your thoughts, because there's so many bugs and so many promises that just aren't delivered on. And this happens every single season, every single year. So let me just my experience, because like I said to start the video, I literally only played it for like an hour yesterday. And then I made a big choice that I'm going to get into. So stick around if you want to see what happened there. So I opened it up, put it in, and like I said the other day, do you guys remember where you just be able to buy a video game and put it in the system and you start playing? Like, no, now I've got this system, the Series X, with terabytes upon terabytes of memory, but I still got to wait an hour for this game to download and install itself, which is annoying in itself. So I started off, once it installed, the way that I always do when I play with the New Year game. Or at least I would have had EA's servers not been down for everybody yesterday. So that was fun as well. Wait a whole nother hour for the servers to go live so I can download the squad updates and actually have the updated squads. So I'm not rolling around with older players and whatnot. And all the transfers are up to date. So that was an update if you try to play offline. Again, took an hour just to get into the servers, download the squad update. And then I finally started the way I always do, jumping into a manager career mode with United. So my immediate reaction to jumping into the new game, the new mode, is that and Usman, let me know what you think, man. But I think the new menus are just way too clunky, way too slow. They're not user friendly at all. They're not smooth to navigate. It's just 3 extra steps to do something where in the last year's game it was like 1, maybe 2 steps. Now it's so weird. The calendar system is not great. The tasks that pop up that you have to navigate are not fun. I don't know why EA feels the need to change these little things, even like in career mode. So every year, I only play career mode. I don't play Ultimate Team. I don't do player career. I only do manager career. I don't do any of that stuff. But every year we want more attention given to career mode, and every year all it is just a new paint job. It's just like, to placate the career mode players like myself, it's like the equivalent of just changing the furniture in the house without like removing the mold in the basement. Like, cool, the furniture's new, but there's a bigger issue here, the fact that you're not doing anything about. Raja, welcome back, bud. How you doing? Top player said, I watched it. I tend to buy FIFA every 3 or 4 years, then you can actually see improvements. Yeah, Usman, you and I might go head to head, buddy, because I'm not happy with career mode this year. I was very excited to use the live start feature. It was something that I've wanted for years now, being able to start a career mode and have it pick up in basically where real life is right now. If I start a career mode right now, I could start with United in like 11th, points, table, everything, and go from here on. That was something I wanted to do, but it's not in the game because, of course, why would it be? Why would something that was promised to be in the game be in the game at launch, right? There's a couple little things that you can tweak now at the beginning of a career mode. You can change transfers and stuff. So what I really liked, for immersion's sake, because I like turning off, I used to turn off the first transfer window because when I started a career, like a season in like October, because I like to make it feel a little more realistic, right? Don't get like, make it like what it is now. So there is an option now where you can disable just the first transfer window only, which I was like, cool, awesome, very immersive. I like that. This is where I counted my really first big issue with the game. Turning off the first window, activating that option, right, completely deactivates your ability to scout any players. You can't look, you can't search for players. There's no transfer hub. You can't even list your own players for sale or loan either. So if you start a new career, you turn off the first transfer window, you can't say like, I want to sell Lindelof or Eriksson in January. You can't even list them. There's no option to do that. Completely deactivates your ability to scout and build your transfer list for January or the next summer, which is something I usually start doing right away. There's just no transfer hub unless you turn on transfer window. So you can't plan ahead like you would normally want to do. I mean, as a Manchester United fan, I suppose I should be used to not starting the transfer process until the window opens, right? We're used to that. But as a career mode feature, this was either a really stupid decision by EA, if it was an intentional thing, or it was just a completely idiotic oversight on their part. Like, again, EA doesn't test their games. They let us do it. They wait till we complain about stuff, and then they make four updates in the first month to try to fix everything. That's literally how video game companies do it now. Ooh, what we got here? Rajat says, what up? Usman says, I think this feels like one of the best career modes. I don't know, bud. Roger says it's how the Glazers run Man United and how they make renovations to Old Trafford. Yeah, in terms of the career mode, exactly. That's what they do. New paint job. Top player says maybe they focus on the competitive modes with the cards. Yeah, I don't play Ultimate Team. I don't. I never have. I don't know anything about Ultimate Team. If there are any bugs or any issues in Ultimate Team, I don't know about them because I just don't play it. I used to do player career when I was young. I don't anymore because I'm old. So I just only do manager career now. Raja says, why wouldn't Leonardo go to Saudi? Life-changing money. I mean, if money is that important to you when you're a young player, then cool. I mean, there's always time to get it later on. The Saudi, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to begrudge anybody for wanting to make money. It's just interesting that he was hyped up and then now he's out in the Saudi league where no one's going to watch him play. Raja says, haven't bought the game yet, so don't really get it. Know how. Yeah, maybe you won't have to buy it. If we get to 2K subscribers, maybe you can win it, but I wouldn't want to kill anybody by getting them this game that's basically half a game. So in terms of, you disable the first transfer window because you want to make it a little more immersive, but you don't get to even scout. There's literally no transfer hub, and you can't sell or list any of your players for January transfer or anything. It's ridiculous. Even more cool that even if you do have this option activated, other CPU clubs in the game can do whatever they want still. Awesome. I think honestly the most frustrating thing about this whole issue, and this was literally within the first 10 minutes of me turning the game on, by the way, all this stuff, I found this all out. So the frustrating thing is that I'm not even surprised that there's this many issues with the game. So then I was like, all right, I gotta get out of this manager mode because this is gonna frustrate me. Because I jumped on EA's forums, looked around, and a lot of people are having issues. I was like, all right, maybe just wait a second. So then I thought, okay, cool. They have icons this year in player career mode. You can play a career mode with icons. Thierry Henry, Ruud van Nistelrooy, to name a couple. So I thought, okay, cool. Let's try manager mode that way. Let me go start a player career mode with one of these guys and then retire them and then take over manager mode. Because I've done that before. Like I've said before, I used to do that all the time with Juan Mata. I would start a career mode. I would retire, take over at Valencia. So I was like, cool, I'm going to grab Ruud van Nistelrooy as a player icon, start a player career mode, retire him immediately, and then we'll just do things that way. That'll be fun. So I started one with Ruud, retired, and then career mode ended immediately when I retired with Ruud. Tried it again, thought maybe I did something wrong, same exact thing. Started to test it out, went to start another career mode or player career with another player. So I did one with Tom Heaton, retired, and then I was given a bunch of options to manage different clubs. So what I discovered is you can't retire with a player icon like Ruud van Nistelrooy, like Thierry Henry, and become a manager. So again, very, very stupid, very, very frustrating. It's just like, why are you putting so many restrictions on offline modes that, like, it doesn't matter? Let us do what we want with the offline mode. We're not an ultimate team. We're not doing seasons or whatever it is that's on there. It's offline. It doesn't impact anything. Just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Usman says, I like how they added the youth academy. I haven't even looked at the youth academy, man. The youth scouting is a bit ridiculous now too. Very, very, very clunky. Very, very weird. Raja says, get Figo to Manchester United. Keyshawn says, I bought it yesterday. Is it too late to return? We're going to jump in on that, bud. So on top of that, so I tried to do the manager mode, and the features that were promised weren't there. Some of the other features are already buggy and don't work properly. Try to do an icon, retire him. You can't retire and take over as manager with an icon. Apparently, you just can't do it. Feeling my frustration growing, I thought, okay, let's create a club, and I'll make myself as a manager, because I do that sometimes too when I want to break from Manchester United. I'll make a club. I'll make myself a manager. That doesn't require any transfer window, navigating. I can just do what I want to do. So I did that. Created Detroit United, MLS, got all that stuff, right? To my surprise, EA completely and unnecessarily changed the creation mechanics. So I got to start creating myself as a manager like I always do. The whole creation suite is entirely different now, and not for the better. Just like the other menus and the other interfaces, the creation suite is also just clunky. It's confusing to navigate. Again, it takes 3 actions to do what only took 1 action in the last game. It's so weird. There's a delay, like a lag or something, or like some weird latency issue with input on the controller and what happens on the screen, which I've seen a lot of people have issues with right now with this game online with all the platforms, PC, PS5, Xbox. It's like there's just a little bit of delay. So when I'm trying to type in a name, like I'm moving it, but it's like not moving for every action. And so it keeps misspelling things. I have to go back and delete it. So that was very frustrating. There's still very, very few attire options for your managers, which I just don't get. Just add if you like take all the stuff that was in Volta or whatever and add it to manager career. Like it doesn't make sense to me why they have things in some modes and not others. I remember a long time ago they had hair options only for online career and not an offline career. Like it doesn't make sense why they do the things they do. Um, it's inexcusable at this point. Little to no additions to Creative Club features as well. Same badges, same kits, same everything. Just a complete shambles. Like it's just ridiculous. Keyshawn says my player is 5'9", looks like a fly on my screen. Yeah, it's embarrassing. So again, yeah, the delay in the controller versus the screen. Player development has changed, and again, it's not for the better. Changing your player positions is now just a confusing chore that it's just so limited as well in terms of what you can actually do with a player. You used to be able to change any player to any position, and yeah, it might take a long time, which was stupid, but now it's just you can't even change certain players to certain positions now because of whatever reasons. They've added these weird specialties, these roles, which is it's just turning it more and more into like this weird RPG, which I don't get. It's a football sim. It doesn't need to be an RPG. Players don't need special skills and secret moves or something. It's so weird. Like it's like pushing me more and more towards Football Manager now. And I've never even played Football Manager, but we might have to go that route this year. Again, I don't have any comments on Ultimate Team because I don't play it. So again, to get back to your original question, Danny, if I hadn't already bought it, I'd probably wait until the price drops. Personally, around like Black Friday or so, it'll probably drop to like $40. But you do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, how to spend their money, whatnot. It is what it is. But coming up to the fun point. So guys, y'all, I'm not going to lie. I got so frustrated after I turned the game off after an hour or so, right? I turned it off, took it out of the Xbox, grabbed my receipt. I literally drove back to GameStop after an hour and to return the game. I was that frustrated with it wasn't even just this game in itself. It's like, it's the whole, this is just another year where there's all these promises that aren't delivered upon. Another year where at launch, the game is basically half finished. It's just, it got to a point mentally. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like I can't handle this shit anymore. So Usman, did I get the refund? Let me finish here. So, so I got the game. I drove all the way back to GameStop to return it, right? Not too far. It's like a couple miles up the road. But then to add to my frustration, the one kid working at GameStop who looked like he was probably about half my age, apparently he was way too new. He hadn't yet been trained on how to do like transfers for like new releases. Cause I literally just bought the game like 4 hours before. So he's like, yeah, I'm new. I haven't been trained. I don't have the approval to do that. Manager has to be here. So apparently the one person working at the GameStop is also the one person who is not allowed to take returns. Maybe it was a sign from God to be more patient, to give the game another shot, to see if there's going to be any sort of updates or anything, because I still have it. It's downstairs right now. I'm trying to decide whether or not to return it, because to answer your question, Keyshawn, I think you can return it if depending on where you got it from. I don't know what it's like with all stores. All I know is what GameStop's return policy is. GameStop, if you have the receipt within like 7 days, you can return it. No questions asked, not a problem. If you're like a pro member, I think, which I'm not, because literally FC25 is like the FIFA games are the only games I buy. I think you have longer. They have different things, but at GameStop anyway, you have a week with your receipt to go return it. No questions asked. So I have some time. I have till Friday to decide what I want to do. But what do you think I should do, you guys? And who else here has bought it? I know Usman's got it. Usman, are you having any issues with it? Any bugs that you're encountering? Keyshawn says, didn't get FC24. Only reason I got the new one. Danny P is dying out here, bro. It's been a shit show since I got this game. And like I said, every year I tell myself, don't get it. Just wait. Let them get all the updates out. Wait till it drops in price. You're only going to make yourself mad. You're only going to want to punch a hole in the wall. And every year I just ignore that voice of reason and go do it anyway, because I'm like, yeah, FC, let's do it. And then every year, this is the shit that happens. And so it's just, you think I'd learn, right? But you'd be mistaken. So who's got it? Keyshawn bought it on the Play Store. Usman thinks he says, I think give it another shot. I might. We'll see. I was watching some games earlier. I definitely wanted to catch that Bayer Leverkusen Bayern Munich match earlier, which did not disappoint. That was a very good game. I did watch a little bit of that Newcastle City match as well. So that was a good match to watch as well. I didn't really watch anything else in terms of games go. I was planning on going to Loaded Dice tomorrow to watch the United match, but they can't do it at Loaded Dice, and they moved it to a spot that's like an hour from me. So that's not happening tomorrow. Keyshawn bought it on the Play Store, like PlayStation. Is that what that is? I haven't had a PlayStation since I was in high school. It's only been Xbox since then. So Usman says, the only thing I didn't like about the icon is you can't be manager. Yeah, man, I was so frustrated with that. Which I'm in the last game and even the game before. I'm so not to toot my own horn here, but I am very good at creation. When I create myself as a manager, it looks just like me. When I create Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, Zidane, Conte, if I create these guys as a manager, it looks just like them. When I created Ollie as a manager, and I even created Tenhag as a manager before he was added to the game. Looks just like him. The creation center is weird. If I had Ruud van Nistelrooy there as an icon, I wouldn't have to go create Ruud van Nistelrooy, but you can't even do it. So it's super, super frustrating. I'm going to try to play around, see if I can find some YouTube videos. I feel like I ran across a YouTube video last week that had a way to use an icon as a manager, but I need to go check and see if I can find that one. Keyshawn says, I think 2K FIFA is coming out in the spring. Why would it come out in the spring? The season's already pretty much done. It doesn't make any sense. If 2K comes out with a game, like, I'll definitely look at it, but FC is starting to just, like, it's, I think when Ultimate Team started and really got super popular, I think it just killed the rest of the game. Like, Ultimate Team is taking over, and I can't stand Ultimate Team. There are countries that don't even allow like these games to be purchased and be sold because Ultimate Team is a form of gambling. I think Denmark is one of the countries. It could be Denmark or the Netherlands. I don't remember off the top of my head. But there are countries where you're not even allowed to sell it because of the fact that Ultimate Team is basically gambling. And in those countries, apparently that's not okay. I remember seeing stories about kids who ran up thousands of dollars on their parents' credit card buying Ultimate Team coins. I don't even know what Ultimate Team coins are, but that sounds ridiculous. This is one of those reasons I don't have kids, because I'd get in trouble for smacking my kid with the video game box for spending thousands of dollars on Ultimate Team coins. Oh, man, can you imagine that? Yikes. But what do you guys think? Danny, sounds like you haven't bought it yet, Danny. Usman sounds like he's all about it. Keyshawn, have you played it? I mean, what do you think about it? I kind of don't want to reach 2K subscribers just so I don't have to make one of you suffer by gifting you this game as part of the giveaway for 2K. I like you all too much to do that to you. But maybe by then, the game will be fixed in some ways. I don't know. It says it's the same damn game. I mean, who knows? Usman says, oh, yeah, did you hear about Varane? Yeah, Varane did retire, sounds like. Injuries just caught up to him. So it is what it is. I mean, he was one of the outspoken players last season about how much football is being played. Varane's just struggled with injury. He struggled with injuries at Real Madrid, too. Again, this is where, and I don't have anything personal against Varane. I've always really liked Varane, but same with Mason Mount. I don't have any issues with Mason Mount, but the nature of your injuries. This is why I wouldn't have bought Gareth Bale after the first couple seasons of his injuries, because those injuries just, they keep coming. And so you have to be smart. And a competent medical staff and recruitment team would have recognized Varane's issues and Mason Mount's issues and said, nah, don't mess with that. Danny B says, Football Manager is good. I haven't played one in years. Not sure if it's on PS4. I think they do have it for consoles now. It comes out a little later, though. It's weird to me when these games come out later on in the season. I don't have a problem with it, but I like playing it. It gets to a point with FC24 where it's like not fun to start it anymore because everything's already started up. So Keyshawn says Sancho balling for Chelsea. Yeah, we'll see. The moment they have a bad result and somebody makes a comment about Sancho, he's going to throw his toys out of the pram and call himself a scapegoat, and it's going to go through the same cycle all over again, like he's done at every club. So it is what it is. It's just Maresca's, I think, in a bit of a new manager bounce. It helps when you've got guys like Cole Palmer on your side, and I don't rate a ton of Chelsea's players, but Cole Palmer is actually very, very good. Probably, like I said, probably the best player in the league at the moment. But we'll see. I wouldn't say he's balling because he gets an assist now and then. But I don't think we want to play with that kind of attitude at United. It was clear Sancho didn't want to be here, so it is what it is. On a positive note, did you guys see United released their George Best collection? Everything in it pretty sick, especially that long sleeve jersey. So guys, go check that out if you haven't yet. It looks really nice. I'm still trying to get my hands on one of the 1968 anniversary jerseys that came out in 2018. You know, the dark blue ones with like the old gold crest on it. I'm still trying to find one of those in my size. So, because I really like that one. But yeah, Usman, yeah, that kit looks sick. But that's pretty much it for me. It's so funny. I have so much of a rant based on literally an hour of playing this game. But I said again, I haven't even actually played an actual match in the game yet. That's how frustrated I got, because the menus are clunky and weird. The calendar is weird. Just everything about the game just is either broken or unnecessarily awkward and not user friendly. I hadn't even made it to my first match in career mode. So maybe I'll have an update for you if I end up playing it some more tomorrow after the United match. But Keyshawn says I'm going to return FC25 and buy Chelsea's third kit. I don't even know what did Chelsea have a chess sponsor at all yet? I never know. I know there was like a bit last year where they didn't have a sponsor or not, which always made me wonder how they're able to buy all these players and they can't even get a shirt sponsor. But let me know what you plan on doing, who's played the game. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments if you weren't able to catch the live chat, because that is going to wrap it up for me today, you guys. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Some people have asked about doing live streaming of the game. Like, I play on Xbox. I have a laptop. I'm not super technologically sound, so add all that together, probably not going to happen. But in any case, I will let you guys know if I end up actually playing a match in the game. I have to let my initial frustration die down, and then I can revisit it and see what happens. So, but let me guys know your thoughts on the game. FC25 had any issues or anything, you can always go check out EA's forums for the game to see what other people are having issues with as well. But and let me know your thoughts on the new transfer window. Do you like that it's going to be ending before the season starts or not? Do you think it's good that other clubs, other leagues are doing that? Are you worried about the Saudi league and they're not jumping on board as well? Let me know. Raja says Jaden is crap. Don't care about that dude. He has an average call mentality. Yeah, Jaden, just like Ronaldo when he threw a fit and left, we'll just let them do what they want to do. It's fine. It is what it is. Jaden he has a couple assists now. He didn't deliver for us, and he didn't do it under a couple managers for us. So it's not just a tenhag thing. He wasn't really playing for Ollie. He didn't really do it under Ragnick. It is what it is. So go ball out of Chelsea all you want, man. It's just all it's going to take is one bad result and the social media to turn on him before he starts throwing a fit like he always does. So Keyshawn Maresca's on a new manager bounce, just like Postecoglou was last year. It'll regress to the mean. We'll see what happens because he's got decent players. He's just got players that are really overhyped. I don't think Caicedo are worth what they paid for him. Your back line is not great at all. I think Fofana is a liability personally. But you guys let me know your thoughts on everything. That's going to do it for me today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you guys maybe at the match tomorrow with some thoughts on the match. And I will see you there. Keyshawn says our defense is shit. Yeah, your defense is shit, bud. So thank you guys for stopping by. Good to see some new faces. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And big up United. Hopefully we get some 3 points tomorrow. I doubt it, but we will see. Take it easy, guys. I'll talk to you later.